Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye has friends. No, really, Jeff has friends. Jeff's friends are on this podcast. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship.
Friendship.
Welcome back to Jeff Dye's Friendship Podcast, episode 108. We are still Zooming. We are still quarantined. We are still bare bones, low production, feeling good in our house, going crazy, ready to get back to normal, hanging with our dogs and kids and wives and husbands. Nothing's changed. But guess what? The Jeff Dye Friendship Podcast keeps chugging along. 9 weeks of straight quarantine podcasts. This week, we're bringing you episode 108 with a good friend and already once a guest, Josh Nelson. He's out of San Diego. You probably remember him because he went pretty hard on nerds last time he was on this show. But he does that because he thinks it's funny to be that kind of guy. That's his humor. He's a funny guy. He's a great guy. He loves to troll people. He's like the most lovable bro in the world, but not even really a bro. He's the best. He has a show in San Diego called Reds. Who knows when that will be back? Who knows when that is ever going to be back? We don't even know if bars are going to be back. But I made him take some time out from his nephew and his niece. Either nephews or nephew and niece. I know that. I know one of them's a boy. And his brother and his parents to hop on the old Zoom call and be on episode 108 of Jeff Dye's Friendship Podcast. Hope you guys enjoy it. A lot of new Patreon subscribers these last couple weeks. Thank you so much for being on that. We appreciate you. Your money is helping build my brand, helping someday when I get to the size of Tom Segura or any of these other gigantic comedians like Bert Kreischer or Chris D'Elia, that I won't have to rely on people helping my career the way they are financially currently. We'll be able to just, I'll already be rich, be stupid rich, and I won't have to do that. But for right now, nobody's paying for this podcast. As far as this isn't sponsored by anyone. I don't make any money off of it. It all comes out of my pocket. So every subscribe, every penny, every little donation goes a very far way, and I appreciate it from you guys. I really am grateful. If you'd like to be a Patreon subscriber and watch this episode, go to patreon.com/JeffDye, and you can subscribe right there and see all the goodies, watch old episodes. There's over 107 episodes you can watch. So go take a peek at some of those. Some of those are really, really fun to revisit, and other ones I forgot even the conversations we've had. It's been quite a journey, and it's because of the Patreon subscribers. If you don't want to pay any money to listen to this, you don't have to. Go to iTunes, subscribe, and you can hear it in your ears for free. You just don't get to look at my weird face and see my weird friends' faces. Without further ado, episode 108, Josh Nelson, you're going to love him. Yeah!
You look so nice.
Josh Nelson, USA. This is... So happy about this.
Does that look all right, or should I switch it, or the background?
Are you in, Ruby Ridge? Where are you? Are you in some hideout? What is this?
Yeah, dude, I got, it's pretty much a hideout. I'm hiding from kids.
Oh, is this your parents?
My brother's house.
Nice. Where's
that? Doesn't look as too much. Yeah, all right, this is fine.
Yeah, you don't want that out there. Hey, the reason I was chanting USA is because today is Cinco de Mayo. We're recording on Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, I'm not gonna do that.
You didn't know that it's Cinco de Mayo?
No, man, I'm an adult now, dude.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am, bro. I don't celebrate trivial holidays.
Why? It's a real fun thing to do.
You know what, man? That's when I know I'm getting older. I find out about drinking holidays after the fact.
Yeah, you're like, I was already drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. You're like, I didn't know. But I
Oh,
guess
you can't drink White Claw because it's Cinco de Mayo?
you know what? The best way I bought this week for Cinco. A shotgun of tequila.
Oh, my God. You know how bad that tequila probably is?
It's got to be horrible because it's pretty affordable, and this whole setup must be pretty expensive to sell.
Yeah. I mean, you don't put, like, good stuff, like, and hide it in something like that.
Yeah, I don't even think it's a brown tequila, but it's got like a brown hue to it.
Look at that thing, dude.
You imagine like how do you ship that without it breaking in the truck?
That's what they give to little kids.
What?
They
Tequila?
can have the little kids carry the tequila glass gun so they can be like their Uncle Tio.
I love it. So I bought that for Cinco, but I haven't been doing really anything
Dude,
Cinco.
I can't wait to fucking point it in your face as you drink it, dude.
That'd be great. It'd be a great video. A great photo. What have you been doing, man? So you keep posting these videos.
Yeah.
They're very stupid, but I smile and enjoy and laugh and watch them.
Good, man. That's the point. I
Yeah.
mean, I know they're stupid. I'll just like come up with an idea. I'm like, oh, this could be funny. And then it's like I shoot like one take, very minimal effort, and then put it out. And it's, it's like that protesting video that I did, I literally filmed like twice and was like, that's good enough.
You got to be careful with that one too, because my buddy Brent Terhune, who is hilarious, he's a comic from Indianapolis. He's been posting these videos, and what they are is he's pretending to be a very over-the-top Trump supporter.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so over the top that everyone gets it, except this small group of people who are just too. And so he doesn't get the Trump people that are upset with him, because the Trump people don't even realize who he is. What he gets is like really liberal people who are like, it's people like this that are embarrassing to our country. You're like, he's not real.
Yeah, I hate that shit, man. I try to stay like I'm really politically not one way or the other, so it's kind of easy to just be in the middle.
Right.
And I get annoyed by people that are way on one side, so I try not to do that shit. But dude, it's hard. There's a lot of times right now where you're just like, dude, I want to fucking chime in so bad.
Well, but did you get any like one comment or anything where
No, because it was pretty like
you protested?
no, I was just like pretty over the top. I mean, being a professional protester, saying I get paid for it, it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I think that's so stupid, dude, that people are like, all the people protesting are Trump supporters.
Yeah, it is weird, right?
Like, oh, so like Democrats don't want to get back to work and like open up businesses and shit? Like just like whatever.
I don't even know enough about it. Like, what are they? I posted a thing yesterday because all I just saw was that everyone was talking about how they're slaves, like the government's enslaving them. Yeah. And I was like, I just wanted to make a joke that you can't throw around the word slave like that.
No, definitely not.
Staying home and not being able to work and watching Netflix is hardly what the slaves dealt with.
I think it's weird that I do have an ankle brace on right now and I can't go anywhere, but whatever. I get what they're saying.
That's what I was actually. That's another thing that I posted was that if you've got sentenced to house arrest, these shouldn't count. These 3 months shouldn't count.
Oh, it'd be the greatest. You're like, fuck yeah, dude. I'm not missing nothing.
Yeah, but those shouldn't count. The government should be like, these 3 months, you have to add it to the end of your.
Yeah, right, bro. They're letting like real criminals out right now.
It's crazy.
If you're on house arrest, you should be like, cut this shit off, dude. You just let some sexual predators out.
Wait, so what have you been doing though besides those videos? Like, what's been your quarantine experience?
So I've been staying with my brother and his wife and my 2 nephews.
Nice. You love them.
I love them. Yeah, the one dude is. I mean, the one's just like under 1, so he's just whatever. He's cute, but he just doesn't do nothing. And then the other one's a 2-year-old. He's just adorable. So I've been doing that. I was staying at my roommate's house. Or not at my place, my roommate's house. I was staying at our place, and my roommate was working, so he was like coming in and out every day, and it was like he didn't give a shit about quarantining. And I was like he didn't care. He's like he threw a party one night. I'm like, okay, dude. So I had to. I just moved out of there because my parents wanted to see us for Easter.
Oh yeah.
And I don't really want to kill him yet, so I just been taking it serious, but we're going on a trip next week, and then after that, I'm fucking turning this into spring break.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've been good about it. I tried to get you to come up to my place a couple times, and you're like, "Nah, man, I'm not." My friend Justin, he hasn't seen anyone. I really believe when he tells me he's seen zero people besides his sister, his mom, and his dad. I believe him. He's strict to those kind of things.
Oh, I do too. I FaceTimed with him, and he's like, I'm just not going anywhere.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to. He sees his parents. He doesn't want to get them sick or whatever. That's like the fear is they told you like you can carry it and get somebody sick. So you're like, I don't want to get my parents sick.
Right.
Like, I don't care. Like, I think I could handle it, but that's the last thing you want to do is just take them down.
Another perk about never seeing my parents. I don't have to worry about anything.
Now you can just be like, hey, sorry, coronavirus. Sorry, I can't see you.
Yeah, it's been going on in my family for about 6 years, this quarantine.
6 years, man. What are you doing right now for quarantine, dude? You got to be going nuts.
I am a little stressed. My dog gets like 75 walks. I come inside the house and go, might as well walk him again. I just walk him everywhere.
Dude, you got a dog at the perfect time.
I know. I've been doing this thing though to keep myself entertained. Each day I go to the coffee shop. That's like my one out that I get to like go to the coffee shop, and you have to wear a mask and stuff. So I've been wearing a different Mortal Kombat mask each.
Oh, that's funny. That's really funny.
I love masks. I'm the like only guy who's like very pro mask. I went as Raiden one day. I went as Sub-Zero one day. Scorpion one day. I've done everything. Smoke, Noob Saibot.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Are you going in full costume or just the mask?
Just the masks. Because I don't have the full costumes. If I had the full costume though, that'd be much better than. I think that would go viral. I think that's maybe what I should have thought about that.
They're like, this dude is serious about his mask.
Yeah, but I think it should be more of a mask thing as opposed to like a cosplay thing.
No, I agree. I think it's funny what you're doing. It's great.
19. I'm gonna post all those photos at once so people can just see it. Like this guy's a jackass.
And then you haven't have people coming over and stuff?
No, I've had Randy come over and Tyler come over. So I've seen those guys periodically throughout this. But no, for the most part, I've just been watching 90 Day Fiance, Michael Jordan's The Last Dance. I watched, I'm trying to think. That's it.
Are you ready for the next Last Dance one where it probably goes into your Supersonics?
Yeah, but also like.
It already happened.
I love Jordan so much. And watching these kind of things reminds me like, oh, that is true. Like he was really that good. Because I always think to myself, it was so magic. But it was probably only magic because we were like such young kids. But then you watch this and you go, no, it really was magic. It wasn't me misremembering it from a child's mind. It was legitimately this magic.
Yeah. I think the part that I enjoy the most about it is like hearing all the chaos that was going on. Because like when you just see a team play, you're like, oh, dude, they must all be best friends. And like they're just so good. And then you got to like all these teams, like they're all adults.
It's a workplace.
Yeah, they don't really totally like each other, but they have to. And I think that's the cool part. Where like they're just like they didn't really like Kukoc because of whatever reason. And
it was nuts. I thought they loved Tony Kukoc. I didn't know that was like a thing.
Yeah, all because he was Krause's boy. Like,
here, let's talk about this. This will be an interesting question. So there's a part in The Last Dance, and you said you've been watching them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been watching them, and most of the people at home probably been watching them. But if you haven't been watching them, to the listeners, there's a part where Michael Jordan was asked to endorse a guy running for office in North Carolina, right? And he was asked to, and it was a black guy. It was a black guy named something Gant.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but he was the first black guy running. He was an incumbent that was running against this older conservative, like racist guy. At least I don't like calling people racist, but he was that label fits. He said he did a lot of racist things. Like one time he whistled to a black employee in an elevator, like the Dixie song. Like, I mean, he's famous for being pretty racist. So they wanted Michael Jordan to endorse him, to just say, hey, will you give this endorsement to this guy that's running? And Michael Jordan said he wouldn't. And then allegedly, no one could prove it for years, and no one knew who he said it to, but there was this mythic sentence that was going around that Michael Jordan said he wasn't going to do that because Republicans buy sneakers too.
Yeah.
That was the quote. And later, and he admitted to it. He did say that he said it. This is the first time it's been confirmed that he actually said that thing. I don't disagree with him.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's a couple different ways you can look at it. One, if he's talking financially, he doesn't want to make that statement and alienate half of the people. So why would he ever make that comment?
Yeah.
And the other way I took it is maybe he just liked to be liked by everyone. And so he didn't want to draw that line in the sand, which he was going to, and immediately not be liked. Like, I don't feel like people need to put their political stuff out there for that reason. Like, you just,
and also like this was a presidential campaign. This was some regional like office running, and the black community at the time felt that like Michael Jordan owed it to his community to take a side on that and say something publicly. But the other thing is like, we all have the right to do whatever the hell we want. If he doesn't want to do that, like there's no like, it's a very strange thing. And they made it seem like a lot of people felt like really disgraced that he did that. But it was a tough time to be political. And it was also a tough time to be a star of that magnitude as an African American.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I could see both sides of it, but I definitely see why he didn't jump. But I mean, I don't think me now politically, if I had a way to talk about something and I was at a status where I could lose a lot, I don't think I would jump in unless I firmly really believed strongly.
Right. And now is an easier time to be those kind of things.
Yeah.
You know, like Colin Kaepernick was a pretty shitty backup quarterback who became more famous for being like a political nuisance on a football field.
Yeah.
Which, you know, the reason I say nuisance, because he was a nuisance to the game. He was doing something greater, but you can agree it was very distracting in the NFL, and it was kind of like this, you know, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with him, but he was kind of this pest to the NFL because he had this bigger idea of something. But like, think about this. Michael Jordan at the time was sponsored by Gatorade, Nike, Hanes, McDonald's, Wheaties, and can't remember what else. But like, he was generating over $100 million like that year. So like he's kind of saying like, I'm global, man. I can't be making statements like that. I also kind of forget global. Like he's America's darling. And if America is full of half Republicans and half Democrats, doesn't he just want to keep all of America happy?
I mean, if it comes about money, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't draw that.
He's like, what? I'm supposed to risk all this stuff so you guys can just feel like I've championed for the African American community?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Plus, who knows? Maybe he was Republican.
Yeah, well, I mean, we don't know. Yeah, who knows?
I mean, that's another whole thing. Yeah, I don't think you should have had to. I mean, I feel like when people vote, they vote with their pocketbook usually anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like he just thought the money made more sense than burning all that.
There's also a great quote. I don't know. It wasn't in the documentary, but there was some politician who once said, and it might not even be a politician. It's bad that I'm not sourcing or referencing my sources, but there's a quote that said, everybody wants to look at the poor black youth and say these kids need love. No, this community needs money. And Michael Jordan was all about making that money. Without Michael Jordan doing what he did for his time, there's no LeBron James. Now LeBron James can be political. He can be a popular athlete who does the right thing for his communities, where Michael's just trying to build this thing big enough that, and so like at that time period, maybe it was best that he didn't get controversial and weird.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, who knows how it would have been back then with newspaper? Like they could have, I mean, they didn't have social media now. Like they could have printed one thing on the paper and it could have like wrecked all. I mean, you don't know what would have happened with it. Like, I don't know. Sorry, I got to refuse this call.
Yeah, it is wild. But I thought that was the one part of the documentary that I really didn't like, is that like they made it political and racial for a guy who has done a lot. Michael Jordan he did endorse that guy on the next election.
Yeah.
Next time that guy ran, the guy ran again and lost again, and he endorsed him. He also gave him $25,000 the year that he didn't publicly.
Yeah, he wrote a check.
Yeah, and then he donated a ton of money to like the I think somewhere in the Smithsonian or something like that. But like, there's an African American museum, and Jordan paid for heaps of it. Like, he's done things since that suggest like, oh, I want to do the right thing. But it's like he was young and just wanted to play basketball and become a billionaire, which he did.
And that's the other thing that I think is funny at the time. They didn't really get into his age, but what was he at that time? Like maybe 28, maybe 30 years old. I mean, like, could you imagine somebody coming to you in your 30s and being like, hey, man, I need you to do this political guy. You're like,
Yeah.
what? I don't even know anything about it. You know?
I'm not a politician. This is just risky business. Yeah, I also think it's like silly. Like, why don't we go to Mike Trout and say, hey, why don't you ever speak up about how African Americans are shot by police officers at a higher statistical rate? Like, you would just never expect or demand Mike Trout to make a statement about something he doesn't, Yeah. It's so weird. And Michael Jordan is like, what? Like, this is like some political race in North Carolina? Like, I don't know. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I just think about how much money he would have lost if he would have gone and did something.
Horrible. That makes me so uncomfortable just thinking about it.
I mean,
I've tweeted something. I've just tweeted something, and then I get a call from NBC, like, you got to take that tweet down. Like, that's how fragile some of these things are. Like, a tweet can just completely end you. Let alone in 93 or like 94 or like whenever that was, he's supposed to be like on the front lines of like, I demand that this racist man lose this. It's like, shut up.
No, I think he did. Well, I don't know if it's the right thing, but I understand the move.
Yeah, and that's kind of what Obama was saying. Like, Obama was in The Last Dance, and he was kind of saying like, hey, I think the quote was, America is quick to accept someone like Michael Jordan and Oprah Winfrey and even a Barack Obama, as long as they don't get too political, I think he said, or something like that, which is it's kind of like saying like, America will accept an African American to be a celebrity as long as they shut up about these really political issues.
Yeah.
And but I think that that's true with everything.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's just a race thing. I think if you had Christian McCaffrey talking about political stuff, everybody would be saying the same thing. Hey, just run the ball and shut up. So
I hate when Taylor Swift starts doing all these like political bullshit. They hate that.
People just like to tell people that they don't know what they're talking about. Right. But on the other hand, why does it make sense that Justin Bieber is going to tell you who to vote for? Like,
that's stupid. It makes no sense.
And then people will listen to that like, that makes no sense. You know, like, just so it's a weird edge of I don't know, man. I would just walk the line on those ones. I wouldn't say anything. But
well, when Taylor Swift tries to be political, people do say, hey, shut up. And guess what she does? She goes, oh, it's because I'm a woman, huh? It's like, no, because we don't want our A-list celebrities making us feel uncomfortable because we disagree with them politically. I'm giving you my money so you can have a big mansion and live your glorious life. Shut the fuck up about things I take personal.
Yeah, I don't even want to know what my brother's voting for, let alone what Taylor Swift is, you know?
True. But like, what's funny is like, no matter what happens, like if I do something political and whatever, they'll say, oh, it's fucking loser. Well, they'll find a thing. He's stupid or he's just a comedian. If Taylor Swift does it, it's like, oh, it's because she's a woman. If Michael Jordan does it, like, oh, it's because he's black. Like, they'll find some reason why.
You can narrative any way you want, man. It's insane. Crazy.
Very annoying. But I'm excited, and I don't care that they're about to cover the Sonics, because even as a little kid who loved the Sonics, and like, they made me cry when they lost. Like, when the Bulls beat us, like, it broke my heart.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Even at that young age, I knew we're second place. Nobody's beating Jordan. He just seemed unbeatable.
Did you guys take him to 6 games?
I think we won 1 or 2.
Yeah, I think it was 6 games.
But that's nothing. To win 1 or 2 is embarrassing.
I mean, there's only one more than 6 games. It's 7.
I guess you're right.
I'm trying to think of what year you played them. I don't know if you played them the year they had the best team ever or not.
Having trouble remembering just because I was so young. But also it was like such a frustrating, like, I just blocked it out, like, as far as like, I was just sitting there going, huh! And I remember going outside, and like, it was right before the game, and I was like, you know, that thing where you're playing basketball and you're like, Gary Payton goes up for a 2 and then John Campbell, you know, I was like just narrating my own bullshit.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, no, tonight we're winning. And then we got stomped.
That's what I loved about being a little kid. Like your faith that your team would win was like next level. Like
Yeah.
now you watch a game, you'll be like, oh, we don't have a shot. This team's so good. When you're a kid, we're winning every game, dude.
Oh,
We
yeah.
have every shot.
But that's how big Jordan was. That he even trumped a child's hope. Because I was just sitting there going, no way that nobody can beat my Sonics. And but even my mind was like, well, besides Jordan, of course Jordan could beat my Sonics.
Yeah, it makes sense, dude.
So what do you think's gonna happen? How do you think this is gonna pan out? This quarantine, this COVID.
I don't know, man. Dude, it's like a roller coaster. Every day I'm like, this isn't that big of a deal. And then I'll be like, this is like the biggest deal ever. So it's definitely this roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I think people just want to get back to like normal. But the question is, what's going to be normal? Like, what's a new normal?
I think the biggest change, I think I said this before, is that we're going to someday tell little kids, like years from now, we'll be like, I was alive when people never wore masks on planes. I think that forever plane riders are going to be wearing masks. I think we'll see it all. It'll be 100% a thing.
You think so?
Yeah, I think that's one change that will be forever. We'll forever see masks on airplanes.
Yeah, I could see it.
The other thing is I'm actually going back to work.
Are you?
I took dates for either next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend in Utah. Doing 5 shows at Wise Guys Comedy Club.
They're opening back up.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I know, but it's like, I don't know what the difference is going to be. I guess they're keeping everyone distanced, that people are going to be wearing masks. There's like sanitary stations when you come in and for whatever. So it'd be like telling jokes to like a bunch of hospital patients is what it's going to feel like.
Yeah, it'll be different, but you'll still be able to have you done a Zoom or a Skype show?
I'm doing my first one May 9th.
Okay. I've done one and it was done right. So it was fun. Like you could hear the laughter and stuff, but it's definitely different. So I think it'll be better than that.
Did it feel like
moving and laughing? And
it's the first show I've been nervous about since I first started comedy.
Yeah, it's just a little weird.
Because I'm like, people paid for this. I'm like, they've literally bought tickets to come see me.
Are you gonna stand with like a remote control in front of something?
I don't know about a remote, but I think I'm gonna try and make it as close to a stand-up comedy show as I can.
Why not? But make everything else comfortable for you.
Yeah.
Besides, and the way that I did it was they had like people VIP,
right.
Where their mics were on, so you could hear.
That's how mine is.
Yeah, that's the good way to do it. Versus like one that's just everybody's muted and you're just like, oh, so hey, the weather, and you're like, no.
Yeah.
You're like, that's
brutal.
brutal.
I don't want to do that. I think we've sold 178 tickets for mine.
Jesus.
And so they'll all be able to keep their microphones on. I think statistically, most of them won't. Or not most,
running
some of them won't, and half will probably. What's that?
Are you running it, or is some company running it?
Club Nowhere. It's the name who shan't be spoken, Steve Hofstetter and Ben Gleib.
That guy's on fire, dude, with this.
I know. And so that's the thing. Is like, so they booked it and they're running everything, and it comes like with like VIP tickets, you get like a digital download of my album, and then you also we're gonna do like a meet and greet afterwards, which is cool.
That's cool.
But I'm just real nervous about it. The part I will say I like is that I'm going to keep on the other side, the fourth wall will be all of my new material and like just things I want to try, where you don't have that advantage with regular stand-up comedy. You can like peek down at a set list or something, but the audience still sees you do that. Whereas my eyeline, I could be looking right above my laptop. You'd have no idea. So
I got you.
All like my new jokes.
Thing, but not a cue card, but you could have your notes of what you're saying. Yeah.
I keep it up on my laptop, technically. I mean, like it's so.
How do I do my dances, dude? I've got the screen. I'm watching it, and then I'm doing the dance.
What's funny is that I saw Steve reading. When I watched one of his shows, like one of his, I could see him reading left to right his jokes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Wait, so you said you did one. Did you make any money off of it?
No, it was just a free show just to do some stand-up. Because, I mean, I haven't done stand-up in 2 months. Like it's.
This is the longest I've ever gone.
I mean, you still know your jokes and how to do it, but there's still a rhythm and, you know all that stuff. You do it every week, so you get it.
Rusty, though. I can feel like I'll be rusty because I can't just open up like, just got back from Mexico. It's like, we know I didn't. Like, you know what I'm saying? So there's kind of this like tricky, some of the little tricks that we get away with as stand-up comedians, you won't be able to do during a quarantine at your laptop. So
No.
we'll
You can't be like, yeah, I went on this date the other day. Like the typical whatever you do. You have to be like, yeah, before this, I went on a date.
Do you want to do a set before mine?
I'll do a set, yeah.
And I think that they can throw you money and stuff too. Like it'll be like
when is it?
May 9th. So this Friday.
Like I got shit going on.
Yeah, let me see if my calendar's open.
Hold on, dude. Let me check. Oh, dude, I got a virtual dog walking program I got to do right before it. Hold on.
I wish I could. I'm doing a speed dating, so I can't.
Dude, did you know people are doing dating like this way? Like, that's the worst part of dating.
So yeah, to have to like this.
Yeah. Oh, hey, let's just have dinner and talk for the whole time. And then what? Like, what are we doing that for?
How many times have you talked to me on the phone?
We've talked maybe 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, and we've been good friends for a long. And not only have you been my good friend, I consider you like in my inner circle of dudes that I love, and I tell you I love you. Also, you've been my boss at times. Like you've booked me for shows, and I still I'll screen every call. I'll screen a FaceTime. I won't do it.
Oh yeah, I've tried to FaceTime you a couple times, and you've not done them.
Can't, man. So like that's another hard part about this. Not only do I not get to be social, but I'm having to face my phobia of like FaceTimes and
you got no excuse not to answer.
It's been frustrating. Terry Bradshaw's so mad at me right now because he's tried to call so many times, and I just like something about seeing my phone ring gives me anxiety.
Why? I mean, you're good at this. This is just like a phone call.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough.
Dude, I've been the opposite, man. I've like gone through my phone and FaceTime so many people and caught up.
I love that.
That's been the one cool thing is like I've like connected with people like without seeing them during this whole thing, which has been kind of cool. Like I talked to Justin 2 or 3 times, just chatted up with him and just about stupid stuff. And
maybe I'll call him after this because I was just talking about how much I miss that guy, man. Like,
yeah, that's a good dude.
He's such a good guy, but also like he's so strict, and he says things that make me so nervous. You know, he'll be like, he'll be like, well, you know, I might have to pack up my shit, move away. And I was like, why? He's like, because you never know, man. You got to always be prepared. You don't know how this stuff's gonna pan out. And I'm like, he just like it's so serious. It's so intense. He's like, you got to stay on top of this stuff. You always got to stay prepared, man. So I've got everything packed up. I'm ready to go if I got to move out. And I'm like, that gives me such anxiety not because I'm scared, but because I don't want my friend to leave. I don't want Justin to.
Bye. I love it. See you later, Justin.
Have you called Brant?
I talked to Brant one time. I've been watching his show a little bit every once in a while, but he kicks me out every time because I talk shit, which is so ironic that every time I talk shit, he kicks me out, but he's like the mad shit talker.
He's the troll. Yeah. Which is weird. Like, what has this show been? I only saw like a prank call, but the prank call was it didn't seem like he was pranking the person. He was just kind of like, they should be called like, I'm going to call and annoy someone. Like, it was like, it wasn't like a prank. It felt like he was asking them sincere questions. Like, it was
I told him he has like a Craigslist prank call thing, which is fun, but like I did it like a podcast with him before, but the whole time we were just calling these numbers and no one was answering. I'm like, it was like 2 hours and we'd like maybe talk to 10 people. I'm like, are you going to edit any of this out? He's like, no. I'm like, bro.
No. Got to edit out the non-pickups and stuff.
Sit in here as call and nobody pick up for an hour and a half.
Even the Jerky Boys, like you would only hear like a part of a ring.
Yeah,
You'd hear like just the ring and then them picking up. You wouldn't hear the 7 rings or the phone calls that were unsuccessful.
You know how pissed I would be if I listened to something and I was like 3, just nobody picked up. I would be like, dude, I'm out. No way. Dude, what am I doing?
But why? Brent's very creative and smart and knows it. Is he just lazy? Like he just doesn't want to do the editing?
Yeah, and then once you know how he is, if you tell him, dude, why don't you edit this? I'm not going to edit it. Shut up.
He gets very defensive. Yeah.
I love him. He is very creative, but it's shit like that. You're like, come on.
Yeah, he's one of those guys you can't he's not going to hear your tip.
Yeah, he's good, man. So what else you got going? You got dates already.
Yeah, and also
that blows my mind.
Utah for next weekend, and then San Antonio sent an offer, LOL Comedy Club. But the thing is, because it's such a limited seating, they're maxing it out at like 100. Like that's all it'll be is like 100. They're not offering as much because they're saying, hey, we can't try to sell out your show for more money.
See, that's another thing that I wonder how the comedy world's going to go. Like, I wonder if they're going to do that to get away with it, or if they really need to do that. And like, they're like, oh, well, only half the people, we're paying you half the amount.
That's
like,
kind of what's happening. They're sending the offer and I'm going, that's not my rate. And they're thinking like, yeah, but it's because we have a limited audience. We can usually pack 400 people in here for a show, and we can only do 100 at the most.
And then
so,
you're like, how long does that go for?
And also like, I have to ask myself, do I want to get on an airplane and risk being around other people, leave my house, go to these cities? And the answer is yes, because that's my normal. It's like this little, at least it's something, it's like, but it's also like, maybe I'll get out there and be like, this isn't the same.
Well, would you do what you do for a living if it was for a quarter of the money?
Yes, but not if it was dramatically different. If we're only I would do this career for free. The difference is that they're, what's changing is something I don't want to change. Like they're not, like people have masks on and they're sitting far apart. Like that's horrible for comedy.
See, I have this view of in 6 months, there's like speakeasy shows where it's just like real comedy in these real rooms and it's just underground.
That'd be awesome.
People that don't care.
But you gotta have to pack them in like that, and that's dangerous.
Yeah, but I mean, I also think there's this. What's weird about this thing is there's so many people that don't really think that it's that big of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I think if you opened up bars tomorrow in San Diego, they would probably be pretty full.
I'd be there.
Yeah,
I miss bars so much.
So you're like, people are scared because they don't know a bunch of stuff. But like, if you open the bars, I think people would be there. So it's like, how scared are they?
I'm also curious too, is yeah, well, the only reason I'm quarantining and staying inside, I don't deserve any credit for that. The only reason I'm doing it is because everyone else is doing it. Yeah. If there was bars I could go to where people aren't doing it, I'd be part of those people that aren't doing it. But this has forced me to it. And the only reason the only day that I really go, oh, maybe this is serious, is because never in my life, and arguably never in the history of our Western culture as we know it, have sports been canceled.
Yeah, that's been the
big deal
for me. That's been a weird thing. You're right.
You're canceling all the sports, all the concerts, all the gatherings. Vegas is shut down. So if they're willing to go to those extremes on the economy and on like our life, then it must be pretty serious. That's never happened.
No, you're right. That's when it got real for me when they started canceling sports, because I was like, well, that's so much money lost, and I guess it's not a money thing. So
Jeannie Buss is a rich, successful basketball owner, and she's just been sitting in her house for 2 months. That's how serious this is.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But see, I agree the seriousness, but I also think that if tomorrow the Padres played a game, maybe not the Padres, let's say the Dodgers. The Dodgers played a game at the stadium, and they're like, all right, tickets are $20. I bet you they would sell out.
Yeah, and I mean, I think another thing that's along the lines of what you're saying is like, I believe that once this is lifted, once the quarantine's lifted, I bet people overcompensate. And I think I'll be we'll be so happy that we'll be out every night. We'll be going to restaurants more because we're like, oh, support the local business. We haven't been able to sit in a restaurant for a long time, so it'll just be packed up. And I also think like there's going to be lines to go to like the chimney sweep, like the shitty dive bar. That's like, I think that people are going to be running towards normalcy.
Yeah, that's going to be the weird part is how are these bars like chimney sweep? You think they're going to enforce social distancing?
I don't know how they would. Right.
Nope. So, I mean, I think it'll go back to normal, but I mean, there's already, I don't know if you saw those protests in Huntington Beach with like thousands of people ready to just go to the beach. Like people are over it.
Yeah, I'm over it for sure. And then, at a certain extent, don't you just kind of want to go, well, if I die, I die.
I mean, that's kind of a thought, or at least let me get it and see what happens.
Yeah.
But
I don't know, because what is worse if you like lose your business and you lose all this, you can't afford your car, you can't afford your house and your business. If you own a business, that's going under. I mean, that's slowly killing you in a way, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, no, that's the trade-off. Like I lost my job. I get it back, but it's like going to be, what is selling booze to restaurants going to be like when I go back? You know, it's like so that's the trade-off of.
And aren't bars and restaurants going to be like the third phase or whatever? Isn't that what they said?
I mean, who knows? They might open up in 2030.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like, I guess there's like 3 phases in California, and like bars were supposed to be like the least essential, so they're the farthest phase.
Yeah.
And I think sports would also qualify for that. And I imagined comedy would be part of that too, but I think the reason I don't have to worry about it as much is because I'll just be going to the states that operate as usual. You know what I'm saying?
That's
I'm not only performing in California. I'm going, I bet Florida's already got fucking 300 people at a comedy club right now as we speak.
well, and that's what's so weird about this thing and so hard to handle. You're like, okay, where I'm at, I have to stay inside. But if I go to Arizona, then I can just do whatever I want.
Right.
If I go to Florida, I can go to the beach, I can go to a con, I can go to restaurants. So that's the part where you're just like, come on.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe what I'll do is once shit's back to normal in whatever state I hear that shit's back to normal, I'll just rent a place and stay there until California's back to normal.
yeah.
That'd be fun.
Where are you going to go? You're going to just go
Whatever place is normal, Tampa.
Tampa, Florida, dude.
Tampa's doing it.
Tampa for the football season. We'll go see Tom Brady.
Oh, forgot about that. And Gronk.
I know. Yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting, normal. But the fact that you already have dates back, that's amazing to me.
Well,
I was like,
I'm hoping things ramp up after tomorrow, and I don't know when this will be posted, so it might already have happened to if you're listening. I'm on The Masked Singer, May 6th.
I know that.
And so that episode, I think that's going to give me a big pop, is what I'm hoping, because they put me all over it. There's like an old expression in television. Never let the talent in the edit booth. Never let the talent in the edit, because we're narcissists. Even it's a spectrum, but even if you're the most narcissist or even just like a little bit narcissist, you think the show needs more of you. So you're going to go, oh, where's that one line that I said? Or, hey, how come you got rid of that one part where I did blah, blah, blah. And so this is the only time they've ever sent me a cut of a show. And I was like, they used everything I said. Like, yeah, I'm so excited about it. Like, I was on it a lot. You said you watched that show, right?
I do watch it. Who would have thought that The Masked Singer was way ahead of their time?
Yeah, they're all wearing masks. They're all staying responsible.
Their social distancing, dude. They knew it, man. They knew
There was a ton of social distance on that show. We were so far away from the freaking singers. Do you know the judges are so far back?
Oh, you weren't close to Nicole Scherzinger?
No, where we sit was Nicole, me, Ken Jeong, Jenny, and Robin Thicke. We're all like in this kind of bird's nest almost above the audience. So the audience can be very close to the singer and see him sing. We're a good 30 yards. I mean, we're pretty far away from the performance.
But you didn't have to social distance away from them.
Nah.
That's my point, man.
Who wants to social distance from Nicole Scherzinger and Jenny McCarthy?
Oh, I know. That's my point, man.
No way. No, we were trying to socially crowd each other. That's what we were trying to do.
Were they all cool, all the judges on that show? I know you have. Yes. So why am I asking you that?
Well, I knew them all, too. Like, I worked with Nicole on I Can Do That, and we're friends. I worked with Ken Jeong in stand-up comedy at the Improv and stuff like that, but also, like, I did a pilot for him. I did a pilot with Robin Thicke also, and I once did a pilot with his dad, Alan Thicke, long ago. Rest in peace. And then I did a different pilot presentation with Jenny McCarthy. So I did work on individual projects with every single one of them.
You were on Singled Out on MTV with Jenny McCarthy.
Yeah, right. No, I'm not that old.
Hey, bro, relax, dude. I am.
Chris Hart, you weren't old enough to be on it.
I wanted to be on that show so bad, dude.
Chris Hartman's like, oh, she wants to eliminate all the 7th graders. And then I'm like, damn, I got to leave.
Damn it. No, keep the 7th graders, man. I'm mature. I got a mustache.
Yeah, come on, look what I'm doing. By the way, what's going on? So if you're only listening to the episode and not watching, Josh is at some strange Waco-like compound, but he's got a full mustache.
Full mustache. So this is the truth.
Okay.
I was getting hit on a lot, Instagram and Tinder and everything, and people wanted to meet up a bunch. So I was like, I'm going to do a mustache. I'm going to keep them away. And then I'll shave it when the coronavirus is over, and that's the truth, man.
That's so stupid. Wait, so didn't I don't know if I'm right. You tweeted something or posted something that said the girl I'm seeing blank. Are you seeing someone?
No, that was probably a joke.
Just for a joke.
And you didn't see it on Twitter because nobody cares about me on Twitter except for
yeah.
one lady named Ann, and she retweets everything. I don't know who she is. It looks like it's like my backup account, but nobody will like or retweet anything else I do.
God bless Ann, though. We need those Anns.
He's the best. So you want to know what Twitter feels like for me?
Yeah.
It feels like I'm going into an open mic every time I say something, and it's all comics, and no one cares what I say. Every time. It's so weird. It's the only social media where I'm like, I'm quitting every time I post something.
It's funny that you brought this up. I watched a really lengthy video on YouTube that taught me how to get people to engage and follow me more on Instagram. And after following it, all the rules, reading and doing the stuff I didn't want to do, and reading and doing the stuff I did want to do, I just did it no matter what. I have noticed that I get Instagram followers every single day. I get minimum 100 followers a day just doing this. Like, what's that?
You jumped up a lot, I've noticed.
It's been awesome. But since doing that, my Twitter's down. I'm like losing followers every day. My Facebook was really down. Like, I think it just plateaued. I don't think I gained a follower on Facebook in the last like 3 years. Like, I've gotten nothing. And so I was like, well, how come on these other ones I'm so bad, but on Instagram it works so well? And and to this day, Twitter still plateaued. But my Facebook, I jumped probably 20,000 followers in the last few days. And you know what the secret is? I'm just posting funny videos that I've found on the internet. I didn't make them. I'm not in them. It has nothing to do with me.
You're just sharing them, or you just
Facebook is just trash now. It's just like me posting a video of this little girl's got a guitar and she's like, "What's inside your butthole? I always want to know." And it's like this like cute little girl doing a funny song. I don't know the little girl. I wasn't part of the video. I didn't even originally find it. I just recorded it on my phone off the internet, posted on that, and was like, "This girl's a legend." And then it just has thousands and thousands of hits and follows.
Yeah, that's so weird.
So what's the point?
I do think internet or Instagram is the best setup for comedians.
Yeah.
Just because you can do your clips, pictures obviously of shows, and then now that they have the IGTV, so you can do the like longer clips. I think that's the best setup for comics.
Yeah.
So it makes the most sense.
I will say, if anybody's listening, they want to know how to gain followers. What you do is you look at all of your post insights and you just see which are the ones people are sharing. So if you're like a hot chick and you always post like once a week a photo of you in a bikini, and you go to all the insights, and that one always has like 30 shares when all your other ones have like 1 share or 0 shares. That means the people that are watching your Instagram want to see you in a bikini. That's the people that are following you. So if you do more of that, so you just figure out what they want more of. Anytime I'm doing stand-up, tons of things. If it's just posts of me and my friends, it gets likes, but it doesn't get like shares. Photos of my dog gets way more likes than anything else, but 0 shares. It's always my stand-up that people want more of.
I got one more tip on that that I've noticed works is if like Justin Bieber like says follow him.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, that helps too. So Katy Perry, if she or Ariana Grande is like, hey, follow this guy or girl, yeah, that works too. So you just got to do that. Get them.
I don't know how to get their attention though. That's a tough one.
But that was probably an easier way to do it, just to let you know.
Actually, you know what? I'll disagree with you. Justin Bieber once retweeted a tweet of mine. Right? It was just a stupid joke. The joke said, taking a date to a Justin Bieber concert is like saying, hey, want to go watch a different guy you'd rather fuck tonight?
That's a funny tweet.
That's a funny joke, silly joke. And like, cause it was from like, friends like me and you going to a bar and me being like, I'll never take my girl to a Justin Bieber concert, or a Justin Timberlake or any of that stuff. I don't want to get jealous. And so I came up with that joke. Justin Bieber retweets. My phone was buried. I couldn't even open my Twitter because it was just, I think it got like, 100,000 likes or something like that. And then like 40,000 retweets and then all these like comments. Guess how many follows I got from it?
None.
0 follows. It was just young Bieber fans going, and at the time, they're probably older now, but at the time, the kids are just going, do you know Justin Bieber? Can you show Justin Bieber this? Are you friends with Justin Bieber? And it's like, no, I don't know. I've never.
Yeah, that's the worst.
It was, at least give me some follows.
Yeah, exactly. At least pay attention to what I'm doing. They're like, no, we just want to know if you know the other guy.
People are real shiesty with the follow, aren't they?
What I don't understand is why comics don't like other comic stuff that they do. Like follows and comments. Like, we all know how the stuff works. Like, the more you comment on it, the more people see it.
Yeah.
But like, none of the comments, like, I'll post something that's funny. Barely any of my comic friends will ever post like a mess.
Just Ann will be like, this is great.
Yeah, it's always Ann. Like, this is really funny. But it's like, we all know how it works. Like, if I post a comment on yours saying this is really funny, then somebody else sees it. But all his comics are so stingy with comments and likes. Like, you'd think it'd be the opposite. You think we'd be like,
everyone is stingy with the follow. Like, it's so silly. Like, Brant doesn't follow anyone.
oh, he finally does, I think.
Oh, he does?
Yeah. I think he finally folded and he followed a couple people.
A couple?
I think so. I don't know how many. I haven't looked. But dude, I was on him. I was like, dude, you know what an asshole you are to not follow anyone?
It makes no sense. It has to be some like strategic strategy. Like, if I follow nobody, then my girlfriend can't get mad that I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, one of those kind of moves. You know how people like, they'll be like, they'll follow like all these porn stars, but then they'll follow a bunch of other people who aren't, so they can say to their girlfriend, oh, I just follow everyone. It's like, no. Yeah.
Tom Hanks doesn't follow anyone.
Ari Shaffir doesn't follow anyone.
He doesn't?
No. But also, like, think about, like, I'm trying to think, like there's people nowadays who will sleep with you before they follow you. Like, a hot girl, like, she'll literally have sex with you, and you'll go on dates, and she still won't follow you on Instagram or something like that. She don't want to fuck up her private life.
She doesn't want to sleep with me either, so I don't know that one.
I'm saying people are like that.
Oh, like, you didn't say anything about my tweet yesterday. I tweeted, I bought a Jeff Dye mask. That way a girl will want to have sex with me.
Yeah, I'm not going to retweet that.
That's a great tweet, though.
It makes me look like, yeah.
Yeah, dude, if I had your face,
hot guy.
I'd be scoring if I had your face, dude.
Oh, I'm going to take what you said, though, to heart. I'm going to actually, I think we should be more generous. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty generous, but I could be sharing people's videos other than my own on my story and stuff. Like, hey, check this out, or this is really funny. The problem is, like, my sense of humor sometimes is, like, a little, like, what I enjoy watching isn't, like, what people that go to mine for. Like, I think you are. Like, me and you are both likable, like, nice, goofy guys. But, like, I'll share, like, Camp Jackie videos, and some people, like, will, like, message me, like, what was this shit? This was all dark and like sexual, or like Doug Stanhope. Like, that's like, you know, I don't know.
No, I mean, share what you like, but yeah. I mean, just like every once in a while, like, I'm not just saying you, but you just comment on it. Cause as I'll make these videos and I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. And then it'll get like 200 views. You're like, what did I just do that for?
Well, like, I think that is part of our job though. Like,
no.
Making
I've also learned
excitement of posting it, like, oh, did anybody? I think that's kind of a fun.
I've also learned that I can't do it just for the likes and the views and that stuff, or you just go insane.
Yeah.
But you're just like, I know I have friends that think this is funny. Why didn't they say anything? You know, like, that's the weird part. Even my family will like not even watch the stuff that I do, and you're like, what?
Well, I told you, if you do these dance videos, I'm even giving you content. I'm shooting you little dance videos sometimes.
I get more views on dance videos than anything else.
And that's the thing. So it's exactly the tip I was saying earlier. You figure out what the people want, and then you give them more of that. People are telling you, make dance videos, and you're telling stand up on the side of a street with a mask. We want to see dancing from Josh, all right?
Just like I'm just making jokes on those. Like,
that's stand up FaceTime from Kyle Freeland.
Oh, do you want to take that in the middle of our podcast?
What's that?
Hey, no, I'll hold, dude.
No, I got it. We got it taken care of. I had to decline it.
No, I'll hold it during the podcast so you can talk to a friend, dude. It's fine.
Kyle Freeland and his wife Ashley / girlfriend, not married yet, but I always say his wife. They're probably just hammered right now, and that's why they're FaceTiming.
Kyle Freeland,
what were we just
the
talking about?
baseball player for the Rockies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the best. Wait, what were we just talking about? Like a second before.
Oh, the videos that I make
Dance.
about the dance. Yeah, I got to make more.
I
know.
think you got rattled. That's what I think. I think that guy who owns that comedy club that I won't name in San Diego, he criticized you dancing, and then it's gotten in your head.
No, I'll make more videos because of that guy.
Well, then you should.
I hate that guy so much.
Yeah,
But I'm not even going to say his place.
I don't want to say his club. They'll say his name. But here's the thing: the guy stinks, and it's like he made fun of the thing that is most watched on your social media.
That's just a nephew crying. Don't worry about that. He's fine.
He just fell. He's bleeding or something. He's okay.
Cool. He's cool. So yeah, man. It's yeah, that guy. I don't know, man. Whatever. Forget that guy.
Yeah. Wait. So you'll do a guest set on Club Nowhere. I'll message him right now.
I'd love to. Yeah.
That'll be great. And then wait, when are you back from your vacation? Because we got to hang out, man.
I am back. I go the 10th through the 19th, and I'm going to the lake, and then I'll be back, and then I got nothing going on. I don't think I have a job until at least June, July, August, if I even have a job when I get back. So
yeah. Hopefully the crap will be over soon.
Maybe I'll finally be doing this comedy thing for a living, huh?
Well, I also think it's weird that, like, I have anxiety that we can't do anything, right? But I'm also kind of having anxiety. Look at my dog.
I know, adorable.
Yeah.
He looks like a Muppet back there.
Silly. You look like Alf.
Yeah.
I'm also kind of having anxiety about things going back to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm kind of like getting a little nervous about that. Like, oh, we're going back to regular, like,
I'll tell you what, though, you getting booked on shows, that makes me feel better because I was like, I don't think we're going to have comedy shows for a year.
Oh, really? You know, they're already coming. Because one thing is that comedy clubs are famous, and hopefully no bookers hear this and feel disrespected, but comedy clubs are these survivally kind of, like, they're like these we'll do whatever it takes kind of owners. So they'll find a way. They're like roaches.
Because I was curious about my show. I was already thinking about how I was going to, like, maybe make it a speakeasy or something if it can't happen.
Right.
Because it's in a bar, so I don't know if it'll be different or what's going to happen.
Actually, that's a really good idea. I mean, so do we know what the fine would be if you get caught doing something? Or is it just like a warning?
I don't know, man. There was a restaurant in Huntington Beach that just opened this week. They're like, whatever, we're opening. We don't care. Figure it out.
There has been some businesses like that actually in my own neighborhood who were like, we'd rather stay open and just take the hit, whatever the fine is, take whatever it is, than lose our business because we're complying. And that was their take, is like, we'll just roll that dice. And if they give us a big fine that's going to make us more broke, then oh well.
Do you a comic down here is doing drive-in comedy show? Would that be something that would interest you?
What is it?
All these cars are going to a parking lot, and then he found a way to hook it up to a radio station, which I don't even know how. And then I guess I don't know if they honk when they think it's funny or something, or
hear them laugh. Probably.
Yeah, but I thought that was pretty cool. Like, they all go into a parking lot and they sit on their cars. Like, that would be.
Let me just tell you, I want you, when we're done here, to give me all that guy's info. I'm going to reach out. I think that's and I not only am I going to do it, but I want to film it.
Yeah, that's true, huh?
Yeah, and then just like actually have two shots, me telling the jokes on whatever the area is of the thing, and then a shot of just the cars watching, and we'll cut back and forth. It'd be freaking great.
That would be a great video. You're right. Did you hear, side note, not a comedy club, but the strip club in Portland, what they did?
No.
Dude, there's a strip club in Portland that did like a drive-by thing where they had poles set up.
Oh, I think I did hear about this, which is just good for like that's a good like Reddit article or like a Reddit thread, but I don't think it's a very practical business model.
Just like a back of a truck with a pole, and you just drive by and you throw money out.
Ridiculous. Nobody's that horny.
No, I mean, just go online.
So stupid. All right, brother. Well, thanks for doing this. Text me about all this stuff we just talked about, and then also I'll text you about May 9th.
Okay, cool. And then I got that show idea for you. But every time I give you a show idea, you go, oh, whatever.
I don't ever say whatever. There was one you were talking about. You're joking when you say some of them.
No, I'm not. I'm serious every time, and you're like, "Oh, okay, no."
Oh, what if we give a guy $100 to tattoo a swastika on his face? It's like, that's a real show.
It would be more than $100. How much would he do it for? That's the show.
Yeah, that's been done.
No, it hasn't.
Yeah, I did a show like that. We called Street Games. I mean, it's a whole thing.
Well,
Furlock had a show like that too.
somebody took your other show, so we might as well take the last one you did and make.
Let's steal these shows back.
Cool, buddy. Love you, man.
Love you, brother. Talk to you soon.
All right. Are we really hanging out?
Yeah. You know what I'm going to say. You know exactly the line I'm going to say. You ready? And how about that? Another episode in the books of Jeff Dye's Friendship Podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed. You know where to find me next week. If you guys want to message me, I will reply to that. I got a lot of free time, me and the bubbert. If you watch me on Masked Singer this week, I love you. Thank you so much. It was a very, very fun time, and all of the love and responses that have come back have been very positive. Yeah, hope you guys come back next week. Thank you to all my Patreon subscribers. Thank you for all the people listening on iTunes. Thank you to everyone who has made this possible. This is going to get a lot better and a lot higher quality when I'm not in quarantine and we can go back to business as usual. But till then, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for everything. We're going to get through this, guys.
Friendship